This is the morning of the 5th of November. Clip on red line intel. Trump's secret Epstein tape just leaked. And it's bad. Let's have a listen. Plays about 8 minutes.
Out front tonight, the breaking news, a CNN exclusive tonight out front. K-File has unearthed photos of Jeffrey Epstein that we've never seen, and they shed new light on his relationship with President Trump.
Behind the public rallies and the political bombast lies a private world of conversations Donald Trump fought fiercely to keep in the shadows. It was a recording from the heart of Trump Tower, a conversation between a candidate and his confidant, speaking in what they believed was absolute privacy. Let's find more about it. The sudden death of financier Jeffrey Epstein in a federal prison in August of 2019 did not bring closure to his scandal. Instead, it ignited a persistent firestorm of unanswered questions that continues to burn at the highest levels of American society. Epstein, a man who operated within the upper echelons of the service economy, left behind a deeply controversial legacy, the full nature of his services remaining a subject of intense public and legal scrutiny. While he was convicted for sex trafficking minors, his role also extended into the complex world of high finance, a duality that allowed him to cultivate a powerful network of influential associates for over a decade. Among these was Donald Trump, who in a 2002 interview described Epstein as a terrific guy who shared his appreciation for beautiful women, many of whom he noted were on the younger side, a statement that would later be re-examined under a much darker light. The controversy surrounding Epstein only deepened with his death. Although official investigations by the FBI and the Department of Justice concluded he died by suicide, a significant portion of the public remained skeptical, fueling persistent theories of murder and a coordinated cover-up. As the debate over the circumstances of his death gradually subsided, the public's focus shifted decisively toward the pursuit of his infamous client list, a document many believed would name the powerful individuals who participated in or enabled his crimes. This demand for transparency became a political rallying cry. During his 2024 campaign, then-candidate Trump pledged to fully release the Epstein files, a promise met with enthusiastic support from his base, which largely anticipated the documents would reveal prominent figures from the Democratic Party as clients and enablers. This suspicion was compounded by the fact that during the 4-year administration of President Joe Biden and Attorney General Merrick Garland, the comprehensive files were never made public. However, the path to disclosure since Trump's return to office has been characterized not by a single, dramatic revelation, but by a cautious and methodical drip feed of information. In a telling February interview on Fox News, host John Roberts directly asked Attorney General Pam Bondi about the release of a list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Bondi confirmed the directive from President Trump, stating the documents were sitting on her desk for active review. This process involves examining old court records, which have previously included a heavily redated list of Epstein's contacts, naming figures like former President Bill Clinton, former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson, Britain's Prince Andrew, and Trump himself. Further context comes from Epstein's personal address book, unearthed in earlier civil litigation, which reveals the vast scope of his social network. It contains entries for prominent political figures across the ideological spectrum, alongside businessmen, socialites, and various personal service providers. Crucially, this directory does not constitute a list of sex clients, a distinction that underscores the complexity of the task facing investigators. The central question now hanging over Washington is what the unredacted files will ultimately reveal, and whether their contents will validate the suspicions of one political faction, or, as some speculate, contain revelations that could unexpectedly impact all sides involved. The commitment to transparency regarding the Jeffrey Epstein files, once a central pledge of the current administration, has since evolved into a complex and contentious process, marked by cautious statements and unexpected personnel shifts. Attorney General Pam Bondi, while reiterating her department's dedication to openness, recently presented a nuanced update that has done little to quell public demand for the full story. She confirmed that a significant volume of material remains undisclosed within the Justice Department, a trove comprising over 300 gigabytes of data alongside physical evidence. However, she carefully framed this information, stating that investigators have not discovered a definitive, incriminating client list among the documents, nor evidence suggesting that Epstein was engaged in blackmailing prominent individuals. Furthermore, she aligned herself with the official conclusion of the previous administration, affirming the finding that Epstein died by suicide, a statement echoed by FBI Director Kash Patel, who also explicitly denied the existence of a client list. When confronted by reporters on the matter, President Trump characterized the files as pretty boring stuff, suggesting that only pretty bad people, including what he termed fake news, had an interest in perpetuating the story. This series of official denials and characterizations, rather than satisfying the public curiosity, has only intensified demands for full disclosure from across the political spectrum. The situation grew more opaque with a sudden and significant personnel change. Attorney General Bondi abruptly dismissed Maureen Comey, a federal prosecutor in the Southern District of New York, who had played a role in building the criminal case against Ghislaine Maxwell. As a member of the prosecution team, Comey was presumed to have had comprehensive access to the very Epstein files at the center of the controversy. The fact that she is the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, a long-standing political adversary of President Trump, added a layer of political intrigue to her firing, which was carried out without a public explanation. This move inevitably prompted speculation about whether she was seen as a potential source of unauthorized information in a case that the administration appeared increasingly intent on managing carefully. Amid this backdrop of political maneuvering and controlled disclosure, a new and startling report surfaced, shifting the narrative's focus back to the personal relationships at the heart of the Epstein saga. The Wall Street Journal reported that in 2003, as Jeffrey Epstein prepared to celebrate his 50th birthday, his associate Ghislaine Maxwell orchestrated a special gift for him. According to the report, she reached out to Epstein's circle of family and friends to contribute, and among those she contacted was Donald Trump. This revelation provides a concrete, dated example of the social ties between the future president and Epstein's inner circle, directly contrasting the characterization of the files as boring and introducing a new personal dimension to the ongoing public and political examination of these relationships. As the legal and political ramifications continue to unfold, this controversy stands as an unchangeable view. And for more deep dives into the stories behind the news, make sure to subscribe.
All right, so I just got a notice from YouTube. They flagged one of my videos that I posted, I don't even know how many years ago, on Sandy Hook. I think it'll be a short-lived relationship that I have with them. They're going to keep coming after me. The thing that's frustrating is that, if you don't agree with the narrative, then they give you a strike. That's not right. Again, folks, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on, but I'll be on as long as I can. And if I do get kicked off, come over to Rumble under Cudaman, capital Cudaman 415708. There's 25 or 26,000 of you out there that seem to like what I do. Please, if I get kicked off, come on over.